Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to this video where I'm going to talk about the daily routine in order to burn fat. So I want to give you the overview of what it's like for a daily routine to burn fat all day long. In the next video, we're going to discuss your diet and your goal weight and things like that. So we'll get more into specifics in the next videos. But for right now, I want to give you an overall view of what a daily routine looks like in order to burn fat. So there's a couple of things to keep in mind, and you will get rapid results when you're more mindful and more knowledgeable about how fat works and fat burning works and so forth and such. So just to dive right in, there's a couple tips that we want to keep in mind. And that one is that you can only burn fat while you're in a fasted state. That means before you eat breakfast or any other meal. So the only time you can burn fat is when you're in a fasted state. Next, what you want to do is you also want to eat evenly throughout the day. So we're going to take all of our nutrients. I'm going to talk about your diet. I'm going to talk about the next video, but we're going to eat evenly throughout the day so that way your metabolism stays steady all day long. So that's the next tip for you to do. The next thing we're going to do is you're going to eat your biggest meals during the day and keep your smallest meals at night. We're also going to eat our carbs throughout the day and then cut your carbs off at 4 p.m. And this whole daily routine has a strategy as to why this works. So doing your cardio first thing in the morning before breakfast is the best time to burn fat. And so the reason for this is that when you have no food in your system, that's only when you can burn off fat. After you eat something, you have what's called insulin, and insulin's a hormone that takes nutrients from your digestive system, from your bloodstream, and carries those nutrients to your muscles and into your fat cells and things like that. When you're in a fasted state, you have something called glucagon, which does the opposite of insulin basically. And what it does, it takes out nutrients from your storage cells and makes them to use in your muscle cells as they burn them off. So if you want to burn fat rapidly, what you could do is wake up early if you have to, drink some water, and then go for a 30-minute walk every single morning, 5 times a week, take 2 days off a week or whatever. But for 30 minutes, just go for a brisk walk. No running, no jogging, no sprinting is needed. No HIIT cardio is needed if you don't want to do that. But if you want to burn fat rapidly, just before breakfast, if you can just get outside or go on a treadmill at the gym. I live in an apartment where I can just go downstairs and hit the treadmill there. But if it's just convenient, then just go for a walk outside. So I know a lot of people don't like exercising, but making this small sacrifice will get you huge results. So trust that. And plus also, if you don't like exercising, if you can make this sacrifice and get down to your ideal weight, you can manage your weight just through your diet alone. Like nowadays, I only do cardio typically twice a week or whatever, but that's only for maintenance reasons. But if you're on a mission and you're here to lose weight and you're determined and you're focused, wake up early. If you have to, go for a 30-minute walk. No more than 45 minutes, so that'd be like your limit. But try to do 30 minutes every single day. That's what I did, and 45 minutes max, but 30 minutes minimum. But just go for a brisk walk outside. If it's called power walking or brisk walking, whatever it is, but just have some intention behind your walk and try to put some oomph into it. But again, there's no need to go running, no need to go jogging or sprinting and things like that. I wouldn't do that because I don't want to go hurt myself or fall in a pothole or anything like that. So just go for a brisk walk every morning, and this brisk walk is going to help burn fat. You can lose 250 calories in just 30 minutes. So all of this adds up over the course of the day. So, but also getting back to it, if you're the type of person that works all day and eats, and then they hit the gym at 6 o'clock at night, and then they hit the cardio machine, then all you're doing then is just burning off calories from the previous meals you've had. You're not burning fat off your body. You might be keeping fat off from accumulating, which, some cardio is better than nothing. But the plan here is to wake up in the morning, do some cardio while in a fasted state. So that way you're burning pure fat in the morning, and then you can manage your food intake throughout the day with your diet, and then not accumulate more weight or more fat through eating excessively. So if you can burn fat off first thing in the morning, then manage your diet throughout the day, and then be ready to go the next morning and burn fat again. There's a whole cycle, whole daily routine on how this works. So, but again, just burning fat first thing in the morning before you eat breakfast is the best time to go at it. So if you can do a 30-minute walk before breakfast, that's the best thing you do. And then you eat breakfast, go about your day, go to work. And if you hit the gym later on in the evening after you've had some nutrients and some meals, and then you can build some muscle later on then. But if you're just here to burn fat, wake up every morning, do some cardio. That's prime time. Like, that's your golden hour to go burn fat. So even if you don't like it, just make that sacrifice to go for that walk, go on the treadmill for 30 minutes, burn off that fat. And then when I teach you the diet routine in the next videos, then you can manage your diet to not accumulate more weight or fat. And then you're going to be burning that off. And then the next morning, you'll be burning off more fat. So there's a whole cycle to this. Again, so let's just write this down. So I'll just show you really quickly. So let's come over here to the drawing pad. So we'll make this a timeline right here. So let's just say this is 6 a.m. This is 9 a.m. We got noon. All right. Then we got 6. And then we got 9 o'clock at night. So this is going back to some more notes here as far as like eating evenly throughout the day. Eat your biggest meals during the day. Cut your carbs off at 4. Try to go meatless at night. So there's a lot of reasons for this. So here's what most people do. So most people, let's say right here, this is a light meal, a medium-sized meal, heavy meal, and an extra big meal. Okay, so this is what a lot of people are doing throughout the day. So typically a lot of people, they wake up, they skip breakfast, maybe have a little something, and then they have a light lunch or whatever. They kind of get through the day through some snacks, and they come home and they have a big meal, and then they go to bed, and then they go to sleep. Okay, the thing about this whole daily routine here is that at noon, right here at noon, this is when your metabolism is at its highest, from basically 9 a.m. till around 6 p.m. So this is when your metabolism is at its highest, and your metabolism slows down at night. So when people do this intermittent fasting, they skip all their meals throughout the day, or even if they have a light breakfast, a light lunch, whatever, and they come home and they have their big meal late at night when their metabolism is slow, this whole routine is going to make you gain weight. Now, however, if you did the opposite here, and you actually had a big breakfast, and then you had a big lunch, and then you had another meal at 3, and then toward the evening, that's when you have your smaller meals, that's when you're going to start burning off fat, because right here, again, at noon is when your metabolism is at its highest. So if you have your lunch, you have your breakfast, you have another meal even at 3 o'clock, cut your carbs off at 4 p.m., right? So all your bigger meals are in the middle of the day, and then you have your smaller meals at night. So if you made your biggest meals during the day, that's when your metabolism is highest, and then you have your smaller meals at night, that's when your metabolism is at its slowest. You're going to go to bed on an empty stomach and ready to burn fat. So this is just one huge thing that you can start doing in order to lose weight. So I know a lot of people are on this intermittent fast type kick where they think they can just, skip breakfast and lunch, and then they come home again, have one big meal at night. If you're going to do intermittent fast, keep your biggest meals still in the middle of the day, and then fast from 6 o'clock at night till the next day. So that's just a better way to go if you're going to do the intermittent fasting thing. I prefer to eat 5 meals throughout the day, so that way you're getting steady nutrients all day long, and you're fueling your body, and you're keeping your metabolism steady. But I know a lot of people are really particular about intermittent fasting, and they're really hung up on it. But if you're doing intermittent fasting, eat your biggest meals throughout the day, and then start fasting from 6 p.m. till later on, or however it floats your boat. But again, at noon, during the middle of the day, that's when your metabolism is at its highest. At night, that's when your metabolism is at its slowest. So if you can stick to this routine, keep your biggest meals during the day, lightest meals at night, you'll be able to digest your food properly. And of course, during the day, that's when you need your nutrients the most. So why people skip breakfast and have light lunches and all that sort, I mean, that's when you need the nutrients the most. That's when your body wants it the most. So give it what it needs so that way it can work properly. So a couple other things about this whole situation as far as like eating your biggest meals at night too. Like when you go to bed, that's when your metabolism slows down even more so. So if you eat a big meal at night and then you fall asleep, I mean, that food is going to sit in your stomach like all night long because your metabolism is just so slow. And then eventually that turns into weight gain because that slows down your digestion even more, and it basically hinders your whole digestion process, which in order to work properly and to its highest function, you have to work with the times of the day when your body is at its optimal, performance, when it's ready to take in nutrients. Like, your body wants to take in nutrients during the day, so give it to it. At night is when it doesn't want nutrients. So don't starve yourself all day long. Eat more throughout the day. Eat your smallest meals at night. So I like to suggest to keep your later meals meatless too, because meat is harder to digest. So, I mean, you could eat steak and eggs or fish or chicken all throughout the day. But if you keep your smaller meals at night, say if you have like yogurt, eggs, milk, anything that's high protein, eat it, but at least have your last meal of the day be meatless. Even 6 o'clock is okay. But like, if you're going to bed at 10 p.m., I mean, at least you got 4 hours between 6 and 10 to digest that meat. And then at 9 o'clock, you could have another small meal. Maybe that's yogurt or eggs. I like to put chocolate yogurt and chocolate whey protein in my yogurt. And so now I'm basically having like chocolate yogurt, and it's kind of like a consistency of ice cream or whatever, but it's still got 40 grams of protein, 7 carbs. So, I mean, this is like a whole daily routine on how you can basically give your body the nutrients it needs and then have it run at its optimum performance. And when your body is running at its optimum performance, it's going to work the way it wants to. It's going to be healthier, it's going to be happier, it's going to have more energy, and you're going to burn off more calories, you're going to be in a better mood. So eating big meals throughout the day is going to be really helpful. So let's talk about the reason why we cut our carbs off at 4 p.m. So this is why I suggest to cut your carbs off at 4 p.m. So if you were to have your first 3 meals can have carbs in them, but if you cut your carbs off at 4 p.m. here, okay, what you'll do is you're going to burn off all those carbs as the evening progresses. And then what's going to happen though, as you burn off these carbs and the extra glycogen and what the sugars that carbs turn into, if you can burn those off later in the evening, when you wake up in the morning at 6 or 7 in the morning, you're no longer going to have glycogen, which is basically another, it's not fat, but it's another form of storage. So it's easier to burn off than fat, but glycogen is basically another storage cell. But for energy, it's kind of like fat, but it's easier to burn off than fat. So I'll just leave it at that. But if you can burn off your glycogen throughout the day or the evening here, when you wake up in the morning, there's no glycogen left in your system, and now you're burning off pure fat. The body, when it goes to energy, when it looks for energy, it's going to look for the glycogen first, because glycogen is the easiest thing to burn off. If there's no glycogen in your system, then your body's going to go straight to the fat. So if you're having carbs at 9 o'clock at night here, and you have a storage cell of glycogen, then you're basically just putting the fat aside, and then you're not going to burn that fat first thing in the morning. So if you can burn off this glycogen and there's no glycogen left in your system, then when you wake up in the morning and do your cardio, now you're burning straight fat. If you have carbs at night, now you have a glycogen buildup, and now when you go for your walk in the morning, now you're just burning off glycogen, and you might not even get to your fat. So there's a rhyme and reason why we do everything here. So if you cut off your carbs at 4 p.m., you're going to allow that glycogen to get burned off. And now when you wake up in the morning in a fasted state, you're going to go straight to the fat and burning off that fat. So there's a whole routine to burning fat here. So again, wake up in the morning, 30 minutes early if you have to, go for a walk, burn off that fat, and then start eating your breakfast, lunch, and even a third lunch at 3 p.m. Cut your carbs off at 4 p.m. That way you can burn off any sugars, carbs, glycogen throughout the rest of the evening. And then that way when you wake up in the morning to burn your fat off, you're burning straight fat. You're not burning off extra carbs and sugars, glycogen from the night before. So there's a whole rhyme and reason why we do this, and it's a whole cycle. So this is how you become an all-day fat-burning machine, because you're mindful of how the body works, the times of the day, when your metabolism is at its best. And not only that, you'll be eating more, feeling healthier, having more energy by eating more throughout the day. And again, I have my carbs in my first 3 meals of the day, and my last 2 meals are carbless. So we'll discuss some foods and things like that in the next section, but I just want to give you basically the daily routine on how it looks to burn fat all day long. So I hope this video was helpful for you. It might take a second to get into this routine. I know sometimes it sucks waking up 30 minutes early to go for a walk if that's what you need to do, but trust me, like, you know, you have to make a small little sacrifice to get some big rewards. And trust me, again, once you get down to your ideal weight, you can manage your weight just through your diet alone, and you can even do cardio less if you wanted to. But if you're serious, I mean, I highly suggest that you just get focused, like make it a goal to burn fat. If you have 30 pounds to lose, expect to lose 30 pounds in 3 months. If you have 60 pounds to lose, like I did, expect to lose 60 pounds in 6 months. I mean, heck, you can even lose 100 pounds in a year. So, I mean, even if you're just losing 2 pounds a week, that's enough to lose 100 pounds in 1 year. So there's lots of progress to be made as long as you stick to the routine and you like it. So I'm going to show you how to actually like your diet and everything coming up in the next video. But in this video right here, I just want to show you the overall strategic plan on how to burn fat. You got to do your exercise first thing in the morning before breakfast. Now, if you're lifting weights, I would suggest lifting weights in the evening time after you've had some meals, and you can, you know, build muscle then. But in order to burn fat, cardio is the way to go. And in my lifestyle tips, I'll talk about heart rate, like the best fat burning heart rate you should be at and things like that. So the lifestyle section, the tips I have coming up after the diet section has a lot more fat burning tips that we'll get into. But for right now, I just want to kind of give you the overview map of what a daily routine looks like. And again, you're gonna be probably eating more, eating breakfast, eating big lunches and things like that, instead of eating big dinners and starving yourself all day long. So I hope this whole video made sense. And once you put this together, you're gonna get some rapid results. So let's talk in the next video about your perfect diet and the goal weight that you should be at. So I'll see you in the next video.